All right, what's up, everybody? It's another episode of Broken Bear Conversations. I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
Yep, and before you get started, don't forget to check us out everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube at Broken Bear Conversations. Check us out, please. And for today, we're gonna talk about a lot of like AI stuff, a lot of like robot stuff, because this is kind of like old news, but Elon Musk. He has a whole bunch of stuff he's working on. You know, he got Tesla, his company with the autopilot cars and everything, electric cars. And then he got Neuralink. You know about Neuralink, right?
Neuralink. Yeah, the little chip thing. People are already doing that, right?
They're not. It's not
They're
human
like
testing yet,
no,
but
okay.
it's been on like pigs and animals and stuff. But yeah, Neuralink is one of his other companies, which works on basically integrating us with technology by like putting a chip into your brain so that you're able to like access the internet and do all crazy shit. He has that company. He has the Boring company, which I think manages the tunnels he's gonna do through LA or whatever. You heard about that too?
Yeah, they're trying to fix a whole bunch of the
which
shit
I think is
that's going
smart, because like, why build more highways where you could just dig underground? But you know, right?
Yeah,
It's
no,
just, like,
I agree.
The way he puts it is like so like duh.
Well, let me sidetrack. Do you know a long time ago telephone wires used to be above ground?
Wait, they're not right now?
Telephone wires are underground. Telephone
are
wires,
they?
yeah.
I didn't even know we had telephone
Well,
wires.
like a long time ago, they like I think it was like New York. They had this long tower. And it's just wires everywhere, all these different apartments.
Yeah.
So it was like each person had to have their own wire connecting to them.
Oh, that's what you're
So it was
saying.
like look a fucking spider. It was crazy. It was ugly.
Wow.
And it was nuts and birds all over them. And then they had to put them underground. It's the same concept.
That sounds really dangerous, but yeah, I guess
Yeah,
you know,
like, it's
you
like
guys-
who's doing underground?
You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he's not now, it was last year, but he revealed that Tesla is also working on robots. Like to actually like robots, you know, that are moving around and
It's just
shit.
Crazy.
And apparently the cool thing about it, and this is just him saying it now, but he's also be saying shit and like doesn't live up to it, you know? Because for the Cybertruck, he said it was supposed to be out like 2022 or something like that, or
the one with
2021.
the broken where you're throwing the rock at it and it
Yeah.
shattered the glass, that unshatterable.
And it's still not out. It's 2023. So
Oh shit, I didn't know that wasn't out yet still.
no, it's not out.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's, you know, but I get it, because he probably like
That was embarrassing.
has a lot on his hands.
Yeah.
I don't think that's embarrassing. I think that just happens when
Oh.
when you're like an entrepreneur. You know, you have
Yeah.
deadlines that you're not able to meet. But yeah, now he's saying that these Tesla robots, he's planning to sell them for less than $20,000.
Yeah, I heard that, which seems well. They don't do much right now, right? Like-
Well, the robots, they're basically supposed to be assistants. They're fully functioning robots. Like, he gave a demo of the actual robot walking on
Yeah.
stage, and it looks like a human. You know, like the shape of a human, legs and arms and everything. And apparently, the robots again are supposed to be doing chores or like everyday tasks. Like, they gave a demo of the robot holding a watering can and walking around watering the plants and stuff, which is crazy. You know?
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool.
That was really cool. And then they also showed a video of one of the robots in the Tesla factory actually working on the floor, like grabbing a piece of metal bar and then moving it to another place, which is really interesting, because I used to do that at one of my previous jobs.
Oh, shit.
I worked in aerospace. I remember doing that. We would have these airplane parts that were like in that same shape of a bar,
And you had to
and then we had to like transfer from one place to another. I'm like, this robot's gonna freaking take the job of whoever does that.
No, dude.
But
Yeah.
again, so this robot's
Real
gonna retail for less than $20,000, according to Elon Musk. Who knows if that's gonna be an actual price point, you know? But yeah, that's basically it. It's just that he has robots coming out that are supposed to be assistants and do a lot of everyday jobs. And he was also talking about how the ratio from robots to human is potentially going to be 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Or more robots than humans.
See, I get why they're doing that, but I know they watch movies that has scenarios that happen. To me, that logic doesn't make sense for like if that. No, oh yeah, I have all these 1-to-1, all these different robots, but it's like, what if something happened? What if they get hacked? Can these get hacked?
I don't know. I hope not. I
You
hope
know?
that Elon Musk and his team is smart enough to fix it, because again, you're right. They're aware of that because
Yeah.
they've seen those movies too. And the thing is that Elon Musk did an interview with Joe Rogan, and in that interview, Elon Musk talked about how he went up to a lot of big government officials, big people in power, and told them and warned them all about AI and technology and to stop it or prevent it and all this, and they all did not listen to him. So the Elon Musk conclusion was, okay, if you can't beat him, join him. That's what he fucking said.
I would just, if I can't beat him, hack him.
So honestly, when he said that, it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because like, oh shit, this is reality. He's actually concerned about this, and he's actually doing shit about it, like making us become cyborgs and also having robot assistants and shit.
It still freaks me out and it scares me. It's hard for me to get over that.
I know, but on the bright side, apparently the goal is for these robots to actually replace us, but in a good way, in the fact that they'll just do all these menial tasks and that we don't have to work no more. Because imagine if all the restaurants are ran by robots, all the minimum wage factory jobs are run by robots. The idea is that will cause the cost of products to go way down.
Yeah.
Now you don't got to pay all these employees benefits, hourly wages. And these robots work 24/7. They don't have breaks or stuff like that, And
then hopefully new jobs will open up in some way of doing something where those people that are in those jobs will have at least a job as well.
Yeah.
Because that's something, where do these people go now?
Yeah.
Like our jobs that are currently, they could be replaced by this. Where would, what would we be doing?
I think if you just zoom out macro-wise of all human history, this has happened multiple times. Where technology advances and then puts a lot of people out of work, but then at the same time frees up humanity to do other things that aren't as important, Because like if we all don't have to farm, then we could try other things that aren't needed.
New things.
And that aren't needed for human survival, like arts. We don't need music. We need food to survive. Then if our food is handled, that frees up humans to now work in these optional jobs that aren't needed, but still benefit humanity. That's what I'm hoping. Or it could completely go wrong and they take over the world and we all fuck.
You're right. No, that's good. I think that's if this does work out, that is a beautiful future. If that works out. But I was thinking, like, even these current robots that they're showing, they don't look like they're doing much. It's like lifting things. They seem like they could still probably do our job even at their current state to me. Not if they were just a little bit better. But I feel like if you were like disabled or if you're elderly, you could easily have something like this to help, like getting you out of bed, to help getting something from up high. This easily could be something that could help that as an assistant. That is a realistic thing that I feel like, even if it's under 20,000, that seems like a thing that people could get with insurance, as an assistant if you needed that, because
I think 20,000 is still affordable.
It is.
People be buying cars.
Well, I mean, like insurance could cover that. That seems
yeah.
like a realistic thing that even people that probably even they couldn't afford, if it's a big price, your insurance might cover that if you fall under a certain category. And that seems a lot better if it's having that aid around, because that's 24/7. Because some of that stuff happens, and if it can detect, like if there's like a breathing changes. I had a cousin that would sometimes stop breathing randomly.
That's
so
crazy.
You had to have equipment. It's something they had as a child. It's like something had to click
stop
in.
breathing.
A machine, they had to have a machine that would have to kick on. So it's like you would get alerted, and my cousin, she had to wake up and to do all this stuff manually. But if you had like a robot, because this thing still happens, people still get born with these things. So it's like this does eliminate a lot of other things and creates like these new solutions.
Yeah, because if you think really about it, if you're like disabled, like you said, and you have to hire a helper, I'm pretty sure hiring a helper is more than 20,000 a year.
Yes, no, it is. Yeah,
this robot is 20,000 one time, and now you have it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and if you put the money towards like medically trained robots where they have these programs pre-programmed to know what to look for, these signs, because there's dogs that understand this, that can smell certain things and be aware and help save lives like that. So this robot, these are designed like that, which realistically, this is a possibility. Oh, yeah. I do like that future.
He said
think about
10 years.
Well,
10 years.
Well, even that. Think about in hospitals, like even little minor first aid. Yeah. These robots could just be just on the streets. Like, if you're gunshot, they could immediately take care of you if there's no one around before anybody could show up.
Yeah, I think if we do this for good, these robots could exponentially help us out a lot. Yeah. Also, immediately, my mind went to business-wise.
Yeah.
If you have this $20,000 robot that could do a bunch of basic human tasks, you just basically bought an employee. Yeah. If you really think about it, because this robot could work for you.
You could print shirts.
Exactly.
Like if you
like how the modern day entrepreneur, it's hard to make it work because a lot of entrepreneurs that they start off working a regular job and they have to do something on the side, right?
Yeah.
Imagine now you now have gained your employee that you paid for $20,000 one time, right? And now let's say if you again you want to print shirts, right? You want to start a t-shirt business, but it's like, man, I don't got time every day to cook, clean, go to work, and print t-shirts. Well, now it's like, okay, just invest $20,000 one time into your business. You can buy a car,
you can buy a robot.
You got this fucking robot, and now you can go to work, cook, clean, whatever, and the whole day, this robot's printing shirts for you all day. You know?
Yeah.
Just if you got the entrepreneur mind and you know what this robot's capable of, how many things you can make it do. Or start a fucking lawnmower business.
This is literally a realistic possibility thing, because right now I don't know how their dexterity is on their hands. Like they probably couldn't play an instrument or anything like that.
The robot grab a tool.
Like so if it can at least grab a tool, what if it got to the point where it could probably like make jewelry? Because I have lots of friends that make jewelry out there for themselves. But if you had the stuff there and there's a way you could program this thing to understand, you could easily. It could be making jewelry all night long, all day. If it's just like folding this thing, twisting it. It just could be grab this little metal piece, twist, seal, and then bend this thing, twist, seal. It just made a necklace for you.
Exactly.
And if it kept doing that all night long, you come back, you literally have like 1,000 inventory, and then guess what? You just seal those up. It already has it all sealed and packaged. Exactly. It's our job. It's literally doing what we do. That's what I'm saying. What we do is that's 5 years realistically. I know, this might could be a thing in 5 years. If you can buy a robot for less than $20,000 that does this. Man, I gotta sit and think and contemplate future
what
right
you can
now.
Do with this,
because I'm all thinking about here like right now. No, I need to start thinking 5 years from now what the future is. Exactly. That's my plans. All right.
That's how I always think all the time.
I have not got to that state, but I guess I'm still in the trauma cycle probably. But damn, all right,
I'm like, so many people want to start a baking business. You know, baking cookies all day. Fucking program this robot to bake cookies while you're at work, and you work an 8-hour shift. Made your money already.
Come back, your house is burnt down.
That could be a potential, but
no,
you come home
sure.
and now you have dozens of cookies that are just out to ship. You know, think about that.
Yeah.
How beneficial this robot can be used.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, even I think like even at like my current apartment, like the people that work at the front desk. Like if you end up getting rid of those people and it's just this robot, but think if the robot's first aid trained, even has first aid kit possibilities on it, so we can help those scenarios. So it's always on 24/7. So it's like on pretty much a security, and it's aware of stuff. And if there's ever something it needs, or if there's an emergency, it can also be helped. So those could be everywhere. These robots that are also equipped to also. Be medics or whatever.
Think about that.
Yeah, so these are possibilities these are jobs that no one has to do. I have a friend that works down there, and that's what her job is. And she's very helpful, but like that's a realistic possibility of a job that could be changed for the better. Where now you have the security 24/7, and also it can help provide a lot of help if someone gets hurt by or a dog gets hurt, whatever, it's choking, it would know what to do.
Man, this is a tangent, but I'm starting to think that if you look at human evolution, I think the next step is us becoming part machine. And
we're just gonna be flying, man. If I could fly, you have something like that done. I'm Iron Man right now.
I guess so, but I think that's possible. I think realistically, no, because it would be too hard to manage so many people flying through the sky.
But I do think I agree. But I do think it's gonna be like that's just my like hoverboard thing, which we should have. If you're watching Back to the Future, but no, realistically, having an arm. I think we're gonna have a future where our middle will be human still, our head still human, maybe different parts of us, ears may be different, so maybe blindness won't be a thing anymore, deafness won't be a thing anymore.
You know what I'm gonna predict right now on camera for future reference? Josh sent me this video on Instagram about people back in the day, not even that back, maybe like 50 years ago.
It was the 80s.
It was 1980s.
Was that 50 years ago?
I don't.
Yes, 50 years ago.
40. About 40. 40
years ago.
Something. 43.
That's right, 80.
But still, that's crazy. But anyway, Josh sent me this video about people in the 1980s complaining about not being able to drink and drive anymore.
Yeah, shit was crazy. 40 years ago.
And also they didn't have seatbelts. Or they had seatbelts.
Don't forget, there was a woman complaining in the driver's seat where her like 1-year-old, maybe 2 or toddler, no baby seat, and she was like, "Yeah, drinks, you can't have that anymore."
Yeah, that's crazy. You look back. What are you gonna say?
No, I was just looking at the camera like that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you look back and you see these like, damn, these people are crazy, but. and then like refusing to wear seatbelts. You know, they're like, I don't want to wear a seatbelt. You know,
It restricts my
but that
breathing.
was that mindset at that time. And you kind of look back now with our modern eyes. And you kind of look at these people like kind of animalistic, you know, like, wow, what are these Neanderthals thinking about? You know, how like you can't fucking drink and drive. Wear your seatbelt, you know. But if I were to guess, future wise, we would probably maybe 50 years from now look back now and be like, damn, look at these people walking around without a robot arm. You know, these guys just walking around all flesh.
Yeah,
they're just living all flesh. You know, these guys don't have a robot eye to tell them.
No.
The statistics, crazy. You know, I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think part of human evolution is us becoming part robot. And then we're going to look back now at our podcast and be like, damn, remember when we were all flesh and we didn't have robot legs to help us run around the city? I bet you that's going to happen.
Yeah, no,
that's
man.
the future. Or like, remember back then when our brains were all flesh? We didn't have the Neuralink?
Just like
that's going to happen.
We're just like heads in a jar now.
I bet you.
We're just on a podcast, just our head, just a little microphone between us.
I think there's a next step in human evolution. We evolved from monkeys, learn tools, learn culture, learn technology, and now you become one with technology. I think that's it. I know it's scary to think about, because I'm sure back then they were like scared thinking about, you know, getting into a car instead of a horse, you know?
No, I don't trust that. Dude, there was people that my mom knew as a kid that they didn't want to have a restroom in the house, but they didn't like it. They had it was in Nebraska, but they had an outhouse that they still used. It was her family's kin.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So the norm was to have an outhouse.
Well, for her kin, they preferred that. Yeah, they didn't like having a restroom in home. They thought that was unnatural.
And then bathrooms inside the home became a thing, and they refused that.
They didn't like it.
Wow.
They still use their outhouse. Yeah.
That's another level I never thought about. Wow.
I agree. That's weird, and that's what I mean. You go back 40 years before that, what that life was like. You know, true. It's like that 40-year separation because 40 years before the 80s.
Yeah.
What was life like, you know, back in the 40s? That's what I mean. That weird shit like that. That's and true. You can just keep going back in time. So, like, imagine what the world's going to be like just anywhere close to 2050.
Yeah, man, because I'm thinking about this robot stuff, but also this Chat GPT, how much of a game changer this is, you know? Because now you got to think about all the tech jobs now, you know, like people that code and stuff. You can tell, and they released a new version of Chat GPT, Chat GPT 4. Because before it was 3.5, I think. Okay. So now this is the 4th version, and it's actually way better too. So you can tell it to like, hey, ChatGPT, could you write me a list or a code for this game that's gonna do this, and it can do it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they did a demo where they asked ChatGPT to create a code to create the game Pong, and it created that game Pong. You know the game Pong?
Yeah,
There's 2 lines in the ball bouncing. Yeah. That's just right now. Imagine the more advanced it gets, ChatGPT 6, 7. It's like, okay, ChatGPT, instead of Pong, now create Mario 64. Imagine if we could just create Mario 64 in 5 minutes.
So you can
how
create
much?
Anything.
And so now that we have this crazy tool, imagine how much more advanced humans gonna keep advancing. How exponential the advancement's gonna get.
But then, like, where do we stop? Like, why do we? That's what I mean. Like, do we?
I don't think you stop. I think you just keep going, advancing
I was like,
until we're like,
but sometimes
all computer chips.
I know, but sometimes I just think it was like, I was just like, is it worth to me? Like, to me, the more we go with technology, the less we're gonna be human, which is not always a bad thing. But there's positives to being human. Like, there's like a spiritualness thing that I think will get lost in this stuff because we keep focusing on technology. There's a part of being a human, this connection it's like part of nature that I think we lose, because I don't know if you've ever been in a forest alone or something like that. Even with animals, there is a connection that's not going to exist anymore.
I wonder too, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know how that works, but the evolution of human, this is what I mean. We're seeing evolution right now.
Yeah.
What we're going to be, we're not going to be the same. Even as we are right now, we might be, because we're from this generation, but the kids that are growing up in that time, they will not have the same feelings or experiences because the world is that different. Because of course, it might be realistic when you're like 5 or 6. Of course, you could have different limbs put on and reattached. And you know what? I want to have my other robot arm that can stretch and grab something from over here. Yeah. You know, it's realistic to just interchange your parts. That could be a thing in 2050 plus.
Yeah.
Because kids don't know. It's just, if you really look at it, how we're going. I mean, assuming things go right and the people that are in charge of making these robots work right, where there may not be a code they can cross, no way to hack, nothing's gonna happen. Is that scary? Because I don't know their strength or what they're capable of, but I'm assuming if it did get mad, just this little flick, that might be enough to kill you. I don't know how much strength that is.
That's just pure metal.
It is, and that's what I mean. It's like I don't think, oh, that's great, but it's like, what if there's a little kid? What if it falls over? What if it trips? There's a lot of things in there that's scary.
I think in any technological advancement, there's going to be deaths and shit like that. Because even like the advancement of going from horses to cars. Now that we have cars, we have car accidents. I think that's just what comes.
You know what I always wonder?
What
was the first thing to get run over? Something had to have been the first.
It's got to be a person.
Yes, is it?
I wouldn't doubt if it was a kid.
Yeah, but someone had to be like, now we got to learn how to look both ways.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And people didn't have stop signs when roads were first made. There were no stop signs.
That goes back to learning to become human. There's this human society, and as things advance, you have to learn these new rules. And as new people are born, we got to teach them all these rules, and these rules expand as things advance.
What I hear is when this stuff starts going on, robots start walking around the streets, don't go outside immediately. We need to wait around for a little bit and see how they handle being around outside.
Shit,
it's like they're running and like if we don't get out of the way, they're trying to save somebody, but they just bump it, they're hitting everybody in between.
Yeah, I think things will happen slowly over time, but
they will.
I think that's the end where we're gonna have robots literally everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be the norm. That everywhere you go, there's always gonna be a robot with you. But if you see anybody without a robot, they're the weird ones.
No, I really think that's a possibility. And that's
same thing with phones.
Phones, yeah, look how quick we adapted.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Look how quick we adapted.
If you look
to this
at
stuff.
before the 2010s, there was no iPhone. That wasn't a thing. People had Blackberries or flip phones or whatever.
And some people still didn't really access those much.
And all it took was 10 years.
And our culture shifted.
Everyone has an iPhone now. Everyone's carrying it with them. It's weird to not have your phone with you. I'm sure even you, who's been off the grid and is not into technology, if you don't have your phone, I'm sure even you feel like, oh, something's off. I don't have my phone.
No, I do, but I try to experiment with that. But it's a weird, even me, and I've hardly ever use it, and that's what's scary, and that's the world that is the possibility for our future.
Yeah.
I can't really fathom it because I struggle trying to even comprehend it because I don't know just seeing how fast things change. Yeah. I always try to pay attention to that. Just like what people saw in the 80s when the 80s started coming out, everything was new. There's neon shit, all these different things, lights, and there's a lot of effects. I'm like, so much, the movie culture, there's so many things happening in all that. And then you look at how the time is now, I can't comprehend. We're just advancing so fast. It's going to be a weird, different world. That's one of those things. You just gotta have that open mind, and you gotta roll with everything. But if you're smart enough, there's probably things that you can get rich quick.
And you gotta have that foresight.
Yeah,
like, okay, what's coming? What could be opportunities that come with this, and how do I myself take advantage of these?
Even for me, like if I could have something just writing my stuff, like I look at like even a robot for if I could get to do like a task on an instrument. Like stuff like that, or just even like it could write things down for me while I'm talking. Like that's very useful, having a thing that can just do the little task. And if it's under 20,000, and if it's going to be capable of doing a lot of these minimal things that we just don't care about,
I know, man.
It's a lot to really, and imagine if you can customize it. If there's a way to like tweak the code.
There's gonna be definitely.
Then
if everyone's gonna have one, we're all gonna want our own little customizations.
If you can make it your own version to help suit your own personal need.
Yeah.
Wow, man, that is something to really contemplate.
Our phones.
Yeah.
Our computers.
Yeah.
We're gonna customize our robot, of course.
Did Elon Musk, like, I know in the video, I don't know if I fully finished it, but did he have did he say anything of when it was probably going to be the next release? Just the next 5 years is when a possibility?
Again, my mind's a little blurry when it comes to the time frame, but I think he said 5-10 years.
5-10 years.
But I don't think so.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm like, this guy's already struggling for the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
He said 2022.
Yeah.
I'm like a whole functioning robot
Yeah.
that's able to do all these complicated tasks. I think it's going to take longer than that. Yeah.
I don't.
But I think he just kind of has optimistic goals for like investors or people that want to join his team, you know?
I feel like there's the interesting change, and you can quote me on this. We'll see what it's going to be like. But I feel like in 2030 is gonna have some interesting stuff. But I feel like if as long as things are positive vibes happening, I know there's a lot of other craziness in the world going on.
As long as we don't nuke ourselves.
Yeah, like I said, as long as the world is going towards a positive future, I feel like 2040 there's gonna be interesting shit going on. Just in general.
I feel like every 10 years.
Every 10 years.
2010
everything.
to 2020.
Yeah.
How much the world changed, and now we're in a new decade of 2020.
Yeah.
And
well, I just look at
2030.
things like just how our 1920s were.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of things were happening, but things were still 2020, 1920, 1930, 1940. But look how the 40s and the 50s. That was a very big difference in changes, and that's what I mean. Those 40 to 50s.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna live a lot longer than I am. You're gonna be able to see a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's like. Even in the 2050s, I feel like that's gonna be because that's when they start experimenting with the future shit. Because that we kind of make fun of.
Yeah.
Because but it was pretty advanced. Even back then, that was pretty weird, advanced stuff. And like even the stuff we might have, wow.
I know. But that's the end of this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to the future of the world and also the future of this podcast.
Future of everything, man.
Maybe
for sure.
10 years from now, we're gonna be two robots sitting in the gym.
We're just here, just blinking lights.
Yeah.
And
we're on the other side of the world, and we just transport our consciousness into these two robots for
we're just holograms.
Yeah.
That's all we are.
Thanks for watching. Check us out everywhere again: Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, Apple Podcast, YouTube, Broken Bear Conversations. I'm Seiko.
I'm Josh.
There you go. What's your Instagram?
It's at Severin Photography.
There you go. Thanks for watching.
Mm-hmm.